YB stays on your neck.
Yo, my dons, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and obviously hit the bell for notifications. So as you can see by the title of this video, Anthony Joshua has been slammed and hashtag muggied by an NHS Don, an NHS Director Don. Now let me read to you, or you can see it on your screen now anyway. This Don's name, this NHS Don, is called Tam Fry. The chairman of the group, the chairman of the campaign group, the National Obesity Forum. He's actually not an NHS Don, I made it up, but let's call him NHS Don from now on anyway. He said, this Tam Fry Don said, Mr. Joshua, as well as being a hypocrite, is irresponsible. Sports personalities and celebrities have a huge responsibility to their fans when promoting anything injurious to their health. Now, that is essentially all he said, from what I can see here. And this dude ain't got a clue what he's talking about. There's a number of ways that he's going to get slayed, and we're going to start with the first one. So he says here that sports personalities have a huge responsibility and whatnot when promoting anything injurious to their health. As if having a sugary drink is injurious. What do we know about athletes? Athletes require a lot of sugar. Now, as the stats and facts state, this particular drink contains 18.5 grams of sugar, where an average adult male or adult in general, it has an average daily allowance of 30 grams. So it's quite high. It's over half of your daily allowance. However, what do we know about Joshua? If Joshua is training 5 hours a day, it's really not an issue for an athlete. What is that? Does Joshua promote the couch, sitting on the TV, watching Love Island all day? No, he promotes a sporting lifestyle. Now, if you're in a sporting lifestyle, you can even afford to have a couple of these sugary drinks. And that's what a lot of people forget. And it makes me laugh when you've got these big bodies. You have the government, the NHS, this idiot from National Obesity Forum. They want to blame everyone else. Simple as this. Listen, if you eat too much, you get fat. That's it. Human brain is wired to enjoy sugary and fatty foods. We all have to, I'm sorry, everyone has to. Look at boxers. Even boxers have to discipline themselves not to overeat and not become fat. And look at them, most of them in the heavyweight division, they're fat anyway. In fact, not even heavyweight division. Look around, Ricky Hatton, he couldn't help himself. And it's not even that, most fighters can't. Errol Spence, he balloons up. Now, to his credit, he always gets back down. But my point is, everyone, athletes or not, struggles with your weight. The difference is, it's who you blame. As an example, when YB puts on weight, I went from 80 kilo to 100 kilo. Now, I was doing quite a lot of weights as well, but the bottom line was, most of it was fat. Simple as that. Most of it was fat. I was looking smooth. Smooth looking motherfucker out here. And you didn't see me blaming, oh, yeah, it's because Joshua's promoting the sugary drink. There's too many people trying to blame everyone else. Oh, everyone's kids are getting fat. It's the sugary drink. No, it's irresponsible parents. If you put sugary shit in your children's mouths, they're going to get fat. That's it. No one else's fault. If you think I'm wrong, try this. Feed your children meat and broccoli and see how fat they get. They're not going to get fat. The minute you start introducing these sugary foods, and to be fair, this drink is surely sugary. However, as part of a balanced diet, it's not a problem. If you're living an athlete's lifestyle, having one of them every day is not going to be an issue. Now, if you're sitting in front of the couch, not doing squat, it might become an issue. But this is about personal choice. About Mr. Joshua, as well as being a hypocrite. Hypocritical would be if Joshua was promoting this product and not consuming it himself. How do you know he's not consuming it? In fact, I think it's quite likely he is consuming it. You always see him with a Lucozade bottle. Yeah? Because athletes do use Lucozade and Powerade, all them sort of things there. Yes, they're full of sugar, but athletes need sugar. You can't, one thing's for sure, if you don't fuel your body. Now, of course, it's simple maths. If you consume more sugar than your body's expending, you will put it on as fat. Simple. But ultimately, that comes down to personal choice. If you choose to overeat, that's not Joshua's fault. That's not Lucosade's fault. Yeah? It's almost like, it's like guns. If a gun maker makes a gun and you choose to shoot yourself in the head with it, the gun maker, you have to take personal responsibility. And I feel this day and age, with all this weird ass PC culture, it's like everyone wants to blame other people for their problems. Take responsibility. If your kids are fat, it's your problem. No one else's. If you're fat, it's your problem. And I've been, like I said, I've been relatively fat myself. I've put on 20 kilos before. So I know that it's the way it goes. If I've chosen to live a particular lifestyle, that's what will happen. And that's what people need to start doing. This guy, and I'll bet you bottom dollar, let's have a look at this Tam Frey. Let's see if I can find a picture of him. I bet he's a little fat weeble. That's what, you'll notice that. Particular people, they love to blame this dude, yeah, if he is fat, what will happen is, he'll go home and he'll be like, oh, Joshua's ripped, Joshua's the gallus, oh, why am I fat and sweaty for? Oh, yeah, it's Joshua's fault. Joshua put the Lucozade bottle in my mouth and made me drink it. Yeah, Joshua. You know what I mean? And what makes you laugh these days is, I've had conversations before with people around me, and we've been angry before, because when you go into shops these days, all the drinks are sugar-free. And I'm thinking, why is it all of us fit people have to suffer? Because people who love to eat sugary shit and get fat want to spoil it for the rest of us. Sometimes I fancy a sugary Ribena or a sugary Coke. Or, like as an example, Robinson's dilutables. Robinson's cordial. You literally can't find any sugary versions of them anymore. It's all sugar-free now. All zero added sugar. Sometimes I fancy a sugary drink, but oh no, because the minority, well, it's actually becoming the majority now, but because the majority of people now can't help themselves, the government has to come in and tell everyone what they must and must not eat. And then what makes me laugh is, these people are still fat anyway. And this is the point people miss. It comes down to personal responsibility. Yeah? The government can't make everyone fit if they want to be lazy. Taking the food away, unless you're going to literally take away every fatty food, unless you're only going to have meat and vegetables on every counter, on every shelf, people will get fat. I just don't understand it. It makes me laugh. They've taken all the sugar out of drinks a lot of the time, but yet you can buy twirls and Mars bars like there's no tomorrow. What's that about? Don't make no sense. Makes no sense at all, but this just comes down to the government. They want to take control and all this business. Personal responsibility, not Joshua's fault, not no one else's fault. And it makes me laugh, as I was saying, I'm going around in circles, but the truth remains the same. As well as he's a hypocrite and he's irresponsible. So what do you want him to do? Come on here and what? And that's what I'm trying to say. At what point is it, okay, let's say for example this is Joshua's fault. It's Joshua's fault for promoting a sugary drink. So are you saying, did Joshua put a gun to your head and make you pick up 6 of them drinks? Why couldn't you pick up 1 a week? Or if you're not working out, you don't have to pick sugary drink up. Anyway, Joshua's promoting a sports product. Whenever you see Joshua in Lucozade adverts, he's exercising or doing something active. You don't see him sitting on front of the couch with a kebab and a Lucozade by his side. Now, if people want to see the promotion advert of him out and about and exercising and drinking a Lucozade, if they want to take that and think, you know what, I might add that sugary drink to my lazy after lifestyle, that's their business. That's their choice as a human being. I'm not knocking no one. Some people are happy being fat. That's their business. I'm just saying, at what point, I just don't understand why everyone's trying to put their oar in. If you don't want the drink, don't buy it. No one's forcing you to buy a sugary drink. If you care about your weight, don't buy it. If you don't, go ahead, buy 6 of them. Buy a 6-pack and glug them all down. I just don't understand. These days, it seems the government and everyone else wants to completely take away personal responsibility. It's never the person's fault. There's always it's because Joshua's advertising this. He's influencing the kids. Parents, once again. And that's the other thing. I kind of got undertones. I know this guy, Tam Frey, didn't say a lot, but I feel like there's undertones. There's always child undertones in there, meaning like they say, oh yeah, he's being a hypocrite, he's trying to mislead the children. It's parents, simple as that. I'm not personally a parent, but if you've got fat little weeble kids, that's your business. You feed them kids. That's it. If they're fat, that's no one else's problem. It's your problem. Simple. Whatever you put in their mouths will dictate whether they put on weight or whether they don't. That's that. Personal responsibility. Simple. No doubt. National Obesity Forum. You either eat too much or you don't. There's nothing, oh, I've got bad genetics, oh, I'm big boned. No, you eat too much or you don't. That's it. And it makes me laugh. People say, oh, it's genetics. Well, if it was genetics, why is it when you go to Africa, or when you go to any poor places, why is it when you go to any poor places where there isn't a lot of money and gluttony, why do you never see the genetics pulling through then? Because in theory, if it's all about genetics, you should be able to go to places where food's scarcer, and see fat people there, but you don't, because it's nothing to do with genetics. It's to do with, bottom line, what you put in your mouth and what you don't. And like I said, the YB, I can be fat sometimes. If I don't work out and if I want to be slobby, I end up being fat and smooth. But I know I'm fat and smooth because I've taken a choice to be fat and smooth. Not, oh, AJ. Oh, AJ, it's because AJ promoted me a drink, a sugary drink. Oh, yeah, it's AJ's fault. AJ made me glug down 6 drinks when I didn't need one. Do you know what I'm saying? Simple as this. Anyway, before I finish this rant off, let me, this is what Lucas's response was. So after Tam Fry said about Joshua being hypocrite and irresponsible, sport personalities and celebrities have a huge responsibility to their fans when promoting anything injurious to their health. Injurious to their health. Are you joking? It's a sugary drink. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it. And to be honest with you, these allegedly they put some in the zero sugar drinks. Apparently they're putting in these sugar alternatives which taste sweet but aren't actually sugar and they don't have any calories in. But allegedly these chemicals they're putting in, the artificial sugars, apparently they're not no good for your body either. So the research, because they're a relatively new thing, we haven't even seen the research on them in terms of long-term health consequences. So in this day and age, I keep saying, if you're unsure, drink water. And that comes down to everyone. The bottom line is, if you're not sure about sugary drink, the human, the man, the child, not the child, but the adult is always responsible for their life and their children's lives. That's it. If you're worried about putting weight on, don't buy Lucozade. Don't buy Joshua's product. He's not making no one buy it. Yeah? That's it. Anyway, Lucozade responded, saying, "We do not condone or encourage excessive consumption of sugar. We use our brand to encourage exercise." Bang. Our made to move campaigns, including those featuring AJ, have inspired over 1.5 million people to exercise in the last 2 years alone. And this is what I've been saying. All of AJ's adverts and commercials have been linking exercise to drinking. So if anything, children and adults, but more so children because they're more impressionable, or in fact anyone, but the bottom line is, anyone seen an advert, they should see it and think, you know what, look, what does AJ do when he's drinking that drink? He exercises. So they can almost put 2 and 2 together. Oh, you know what? And this is what people do. You see them go to the gym, they think, oh, I'll take a Lucozade with me. Now, in reality, they're not even working hard enough to need a Lucozade, but still, the thought's there at least. And ultimately, as I keep saying, man, we do not condone or encourage excessive consumption. That's what it comes down to: personal choice and responsibility. If you want to drink a whole load of them, what can? It's not Lucosade's fault, is it? No one made you drink all them drinks, fatty. Do you know what I'm saying? It says here, the NHS recommends that adults consume no more than 30 grams. So this drink is 18.5, as I mentioned earlier. That's just over half. But if you're, as I keep saying, if you're active, if you're actually exercising 2-3 hours a day, a few of them isn't really an issue because you're burning it off. That's what people forget. Joshua, in the campaign, Joshua said, "It's not every day you launch a drink with your own face on it. Lucozade Sports aims to support everybody that is made to move. And I hope my new flavour will inspire even more people to get active." So he's not telling you to sit in a chair and not do nothing. He wants you to get active, no doubt. Let's see what else I got on here. The ex-heavyweight champ was branded as irresponsible after he teamed up with Lucozade to create a boxing-themed soft drink called Fruit Punch. Joshua, 29, said he was axing all sugar and coffee from his diet last year. At the time, he declared, "Cut out sugar. Diet is a massive issue when it comes to mental health." But the new apple and raspberry flavoured drink, which is emblazoned with Joshua's Stay Humble motto, contains 18.5 grams of sugar, equivalent to more than 4.5 teaspoons. That's more than the same amount of sugar found in a chocolate custard donut from Krispy Kreme. So, I can see, in terms of being hypocritical, we don't know what Joshua is or what he isn't eating. a lot of people say things like, oh, I'm cutting sugar and whatnot, but when people say they're cutting sugar and coffee, well, not so much coffee, coffee's simple, but when people say, oh, I'm cutting sugar from their diet, a lot of people don't understand what that means. In reality, people will still be eating sugar. As an example, if you eat bread, you're eating sugar. In fact, everything's got sugar. Even if you eat meat, meat's got a tiny bit of sugar in. So in reality, what I think Joshua means is he's cutting out excessive sugar, which is what most people, which is what most athletes will be doing these days. But still, when you're doing any exercise, when you're doing high level, world level exercise, you need sugar. You need sugar. You hear about a lot of athletes the day before they fight or whatever, they will do carb loading, which is carbohydrate, which is sugars essentially, because you want to be able to have energy. Fats can only be burnt in an aerobic, oxygen-rich environment. So when you're doing boxing and you're exploding, you're being explosive, you're using that anaerobic energy system, you need sugars. So like I say, man, bottom line is, these guys take that Tamfray's gassed, he's salty. I forgot to try and find if I see a picture. That Tamfray is hella salty. His life ain't working out for him. Oh look at that, wow. He's an old man, an old fat man, simple, no doubt. I'm sorry, he's been exposed. Tamfray, wow. This is so peak. This is so peak. This dude's, what can I say? This man, this hypocritical dude moaning at Joshua, why don't you get your old overweight ass in shape? See what I'm trying to say? Why not? Rather than criticise what Joshua is doing, he's being a role model and being an inspiration. I.e., look at me. Be like me, as in be in shape, care after your body. How can you be calling Joshua a hypocrite? In fact, no, you're a hypocrite. Because you're saying to people to be a particular way, or don't eat sugar and whatnot, but you're not in shape yourself. How does that work? Now, to be fair to him, he is older, but still, there's no excuse for it. You can be in shape. But I'll see what you guys think anyway.